is Brainrot Bambi the Clown, and dating advice on the internet sucks. There's actually only one good dating advice on the internet, and it's a video I made in 2024. So since I said everything important then, I've decided to make a dating commiseration video instead. That's like a sour yap sesh with the fam. In 2025, the manosphere somehow managed to become even more delusional. I don't even know who they're talking to at this point, but the vibes are less, here's how to find the love of your life, and more, the male loneliness epidemic is actually the final solution type shit. And chat, I fear that's fucked up. Even the men are done with it. A lot of them have started to disavow the manosphere, but don't get excited. It's usually because they're too extreme for the red pill. Men are really out here doing friendly fire instead of firing each other up. And I'm not trying to be political today because I don't want to spiral, but for broadly claiming to be conservative, they have some real collectivist sentiments. Like they form cults of personality around the worst men possible, and then they try to become them. I fear they're coagulating and morphing into a trend-addled, sauna-sitting, looks-maxing superorganism that releases waves of weaponized incompetence whenever you aggro it. And you aggro it by, like, wearing shorts. They're obsessed with the idea of women testing them. There's normal tests and shit tests. Normal tests are when the woman wants you to do what she says she wants you to do. And shit tests are the opposite of that. So basically, anytime a woman asks anything of you, according to them, it's a test, and that language alienates them from women even more. In real life, humans are constantly evaluating each other, and it's not like a dating thing, it's like a monkey thing, and men do it all the time too. For instance, if I asked my bestie for a glass of water, I'm not testing her, but I would be suddenly confused if she said no. And then if I asked a red pillar for a glass of water, and he said no, and I was confused, he would be like, oh, sorry, I didn't know this was a test. I didn't know you were testing me. You're just like all the other women with your tests testing me. Bro, you've let the manosphere castrate you. Men are so gay now that they're making AI models of themselves as women so they have someone to talk to. And the gay men are out partying with the girlies and marrying them for tax reasons. And honestly, that's camp. For men in the dating market, it's a big problem that every woman is a sugar baby. But for women in the dating market, it's a big problem that every man is one of the pores. Listen up, boys. A big reason why women are so money hungry is because beauty standards are cracked. If we don't have a 20-step morning and evening skincare routine, we're cooked. Unless we make decentering men and their standards our entire online brand. It's the only way to avoid the pink tax and still be one of the girls'. And the level up femininity side of YouTube is mid at best, usually jank as hell. Like, I thought we wanted boys to read. But apparently, I hate to say it was a shit test. Because according to these YouTubers, if men read, if they're fashionable, if they're feminists, they're performative males, aka faking it to get in your pants. And according to them, men have been roaches through the hipsters, the hippies, all the way back to the rock stars of the 70s and beyond. The idea of the performative male hinges on the fantasy that there is a man somewhere who does all of this non-performatively, a true David, a whole man with no toxicity, in tune enough with his divine feminine to be genuinely interested in the things that we're interested in, but who rises us up like a man, and who doesn't challenge our own femininity. Someone whose earnestness balances out their confidence, not someone who crashes out if we tag them as a potential threat. To use manosphere terms, someone who's brave enough to pass or fail our tests instead of trying to find cheat codes or speedrun our hearts. But girlies, I have bad news. All humans are performative to a degree. I'm performing right now, and I'm also being very brave and honest. Not all performance is manipulation or lying. It's just a mode of consciousness. And as girls, we know how fun it is to put on a little baseball cap and a baggy t-shirt and baggy pants and go on a little hot tomboy walk at the skate park, right? Don't pretend you've never done it. We are all performative babes, and in my opinion, men can go way farther. I'm a total simp for guy liner, personally. These clothes are perfect for the performance of any gender. And if you buy them, I'll have more money to invest in Pepe Coin and Etsy witches. Not those Etsy witches. I started using my witches way before someone took it too far, and I only use mine for success in the crypto marketplace and for personal chakra alignment. Here's a man if you want to see one of those in the clothes. I found him on Hinge. He was the only one with no fish. He's wearing a large, and he's 6'3" and 3/4. I couldn't find a short king on Hinge, but for demonstration, we'll have the tall man kneel. This is what it would look like if you were shorter. Do you want me to screenshot this for you for your dating profile? It's good to have some pictures with girls. Decentering men is very cutesy, but it isn't the solution. There's too many of them, and it would imbalance whatever shape the earth is. It can't just be women in the middle, because we don't have enough of a gravitational force to keep the trees down. And besides the science of it all, it's lonely being the center of your own life. It's like being a planet with no sun. That's how I felt for so long. Like there was no one who could light up my world. No one whose gravitational pull stirred me. The dating market felt overwhelming and crowded and somehow boring at the same time. I'm really lucky that my new boyfriend seemed to come out of nowhere. He just knocked on my door and he asked to borrow my Wi-Fi for something, and the rest is history. I'd love to tell you more about him, but he's in the CIA, so legally I have to keep it hush-hush. But being with him has been such a nice break from the persistent disappointment of dating apps. Men are so afraid these days. Afraid to initiate, afraid not to initiate, afraid to pay for things, not pay for things, afraid to open doors, afraid to crack jokes, afraid to have too many hobbies, not enough guy friends, too many girlfriends, too many exes, not enough experience. And they say it's because of the Me Too era, but we all know it's just because women's standards and male nihilism are both positively correlated and steadily ascending. Men say they're scared of scaring women, but they're just scared of women. And that fear sinks into their bones, and it makes them boring. But my CIA boyfriend has no fear at all. He opens doors for me, locks doors behind me, and he has all these cute little nicknames for me. Like, he calls me his monarch butterfly. That one's my favorite. I understand why men in the dating market are afraid. The things they need to win don't just fall out of the sky. 6 figures, 6-pack, 6 feet, 6 something. But winning in the dating market ain't as hype as it seems. Riz only attracts Riz, and Riz isn't love. You shouldn't be playing to win 100% of the time. You should be playing to win the one time when it counts. When you find someone who's, like as weird and freaky as you are. But I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life. If you want to min-max the dating game and maximize for right swipes, it's not that complicated. Girls can't even do math, and we still manage to pay our beauty bills to meet your ridiculous standards. So you can just pay your way to meet ours. Break your legs and grow a pair taller. Lock in and heist the Louvre. Otherwise, you're always going to be scared you ain't shit because you won't grind for standards that you don't believe in. So grind for standards that you do believe in, and then you won't disappoint the women who matter. When women say they're tired of men, they're really just tired of being disappointed. And they're to blame too if they let level up femininity gaslight them into thinking they need a man who fits in the tiniest 6-foot box imaginable. So they compromise on the important things like values instead of the less important things like hand size. And everyone needs to admit to themselves that having big money is really just a luck / how well do you pay your witches question. But having a good work ethic and a stable income is a reflection of your values, and it's not a shallow ask at all. More women need to get into crypto, honestly. If you can do sourdough, you can do crypto, I promise. Because of all this self-inflicted disappointment, Glow Up Girl Boss YouTube has been encouraging us to enter our villain eras. And honestly, it's giving Evil Queen from Snow White. Like, I'm pretty sure she called her obsession with beauty and isolation self-care too. I think decentering men as a whole half of humanity is probably good, but geez, I think it's fine to have some men in the center of your life, like your dad, or gosh, call me crazy, but your husband. And trust me, I wish this whole conversation could be less gender, but the internet is dividing us on the gendered line into 2 separate realities. One where all women are ungrateful, selfish, malevolent bimbos, and all men are lazy, narcissistic, toxic toddlers. We can't connect because we no longer agree on what's real, let alone truly transcend the binary as was promised to us 3,000 years ago. No one wants to admit that we're all unhealed, and it's on us to heal one another. Not just point out each other's wounds and say, sus, red flag, not wifey material. We've built these walls to protect our peace, and then we wonder why we can't feel anything through the insulation. The padding is the problem. We can't bubble wrap our souls, and love shouldn't fit into our self-care routines. Mine sure doesn't. It's actually a pretty big interruption in my life. It's so hard for me to think when he's around. I think I blacked out the first time he said the L word. And I woke up on a boat. Anyway, I know this is a commiseration video and not an advice video, but my red flag is trying to heal the world, so I'm gonna advise at you. Millennials who are dating are in that denial phase right now where they depend on remembering the 2 people in high school who had a bad knee or a bad back so that they can deny that their own joint pain is definitely age-related. Girls, your elasticity is failing you. And if you want to reverse aging to appeal to your crush, you have to do the carnivore diet, or if you're vegan, do blood magic instead. But the best solution is to just love your fine lines and smile big and attract people into your life who also love your fine lines. For Gen Alpha, you should not be dating yet. You should just be watching anime, playing video games, and reading books. That's all I did until I was in my 20s, and I turned out very successful. Shoo. And as for Gen Z, you have to stop dating your therapist. You don't know them, and they're too old for you, and ever since you started seeing them, you've started trying to talk like them. It's giving born-again Christian Bible thumper, except it's perpetually healing DSM-5 shill. Also, how often does your therapist make you cry? Don't cap at me. Crying, like Riz, is not love. You're just being activated by feeling seen. And all your therapist does is reflect you anyway. So if you have a crush on them, congratulations, you love yourself. So now go outside and be seen by your peers in the real world. Let your neighbors see you, and your friends, and the grocery store clerks, and your doctors, and the people you see on walks, and the people in the walls. Be you to them, and stop being afraid of taking up so much space. I mean, thank gosh you're not the void. I hate going to the void. I'm glad that you are you. And you're even better outside of those arbitrary boundaries you built up for yourself. If you see a man in a cardigan and painted nails, reading bell hooks and drinking a pumpkin spice latte, that is his way of begging you to take up space in his life. Ask him what his favorite part is, or spill some water on him. And if you're the guy, you're allowed to have a moment of shock, but while she's apologizing is the perfect time to go and get her a fresh glass of water and impress her with your consideration. And in your brain head, you can't think of it as a test, because it's not calculus and it's not her against you. It's just being a good person. If your narrative always feels safe, it's probably not alive. So stop protecting your peace and let love tear you a new one, goddammit. I promise you have room for more wounds in your heart, no matter how much blood, sweat, or tears you've spent on people who didn't work out. No matter how many love stories ended unresolved, no matter how many times you think your heart has broken. Hearts are like mouths. They hurt like hell, but they heal so well, you can handle spice way sooner than you think. This is Brain Rot Bambi, signing off. Skippity, skippity, yeet. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. But when I see you hanging about with anyone, it's not unusual to see me cry. I wanna die. It's not unusual to go out at any time, but when I see you out and about, it's such a crime. If you should ever wanna be loved by anyone, it's not unusual, it happens every day. No matter what you say, I find it happens all the time. Love will never do what you want to do. Why can't this crazy love be mine?